Hello, welcome to Aaron's 1025R Adventures. Right now we're looking at a turkey that likes to hang around the backyard. So what we're actually here for is this little Hico or House 500 brush hog that I picked up. I picked this up for $300. Get in a little closer here. When you're looking at picking up one of these, you want to pay attention to how sloppy these shafts and U-joints are. This is pretty tight. It moves almost instantly when I turn the shaft. I can feel the blades moving. When I bought this, the guy I bought it from stuck it on the back of his tractor and fired it up, made the initial banging, and then smoothed out, you know, once the blades found their positions, and sounded great. I looked all underneath of this. I can't find a drain plug, so what I did was I put a little bit of kerosene in here to thin the oil, and I'll get a little siphon, draw out the oil so that I can put fresh oil in it. The biggest downside is this wheel that's been damaged and rewelded. It's sloppy, worn out. But I'm taking this down to my dad's. We're only using it to mow a couple acres, I don't know, 3-4 times a year maybe. So it's not going to be a big deal. It's not like I'm mowing, using it to make money to mow. Added a chain guard to the front. Had some buddies help me with that, just so it won't kick stuff back to my dad. The back end I'm not overly worried about because I don't want to add too much weight, as then I may not be able to pick this up with my forks. So it doesn't have a PTO shield. So what I did was I bought this Bear Company PTO shield, and all you have to do is measure this little spot right here. There's a groove, and there's only 2 different shields. There's some different lengths, but there's basically just 2 shields. Each shield comes with an assortment of plastic bearings, 2 of each size. So let me bring this camera in a little closer. Now most of these PTO shafts, when you pull them apart, can only go back together one way. I'm going to put a paint mark on this to make sure I've got it lined up the right way. There's that groove I was talking about. So I believe that was 2 1/4 inches. So the one shield size is 2 1/4 and smaller, and the other shield size is 2 1/4 bigger. Now these bearings have different centers for the different thicknesses, and I've actually already tried these on to make sure I knew which ones I had for this video. Oh, this is a little grimy. So I got some diesel fluid on this rag here to help clean it off. got an old push stick. We'll see if I can make a mess of this, or if I can actually get it. No, I don't think that's going to shove down through very easy. The rectangle part, so you could have this on halfway out, but you can't have it out since it's a rectangle and not a square. There's only this little welded shaft right here, so I'll just clean that off. Okay, so I got me a paint mark here, paint mark there, so I know which way this goes back on. Like so. And actually, before I put my shield and bearings on, I'm going to grease this up. So I got a lube shuttle here, and I have a G200 EP, which several people recommend for PTO jobs. You know, faster moving parts, bearings, whatnot. Lock and lube end on here. The lube shuttle end wasn't very good. It didn't want to lock and release very good. So let's get a couple pumps in here. Let me do this other end down here. There we go, so that's all greased up now. Clean the end of that off. So, this is Bearco, and I'll put a link to one of their videos at the end of my video, and I'll put a link down in the description where they show installing these. So that's why I show you here. And they talk about, if you watch some PTO shield videos, they have a chain here. On their particular video, they explain why they don't like to put a chain there, but it's European standard. So we're not going to worry about chain there. So this is the pair that I determined fit this shaft. And this is the widest opening. So this is 2 1/8. All you do is slide that apart. And then this little section right here, this rough cut piece, is what snaps on that groove. And this little tab goes away from the shield. So there we go. That's all there is to that end. So there, you can see that just rides in there. The directions that come with this are for assembling this tube, which it's already assembled. I got it from Sloan Express. It was only $58 or so. So it's good, cheap insurance. So if we take a look at this, this is this side goes to the tractor end, and every 20 hours it looks like you want to check it, make sure it's okay. So this side goes down towards the mower deck, and these are just a special plastic. So if they end up being too long, you can just take a hacksaw and cut these. So, since the end of this PTO shaft is open, and this was fairly grimy, I'm just going to put dry graphite on here. That way any grass seed or anything hopefully doesn't stick like it would with grease. I like their directions on here. Hey, shake the can. Now on these shields there is a grease fitting. We'll actually put grease there. But this is just where this slides back and forth a little bit, so that's why I'm not putting grease on that. Because it turns as a unit, so it's got very minimal movement, so this will help keep all the stuff off of it. This I'll actually grease through this grease fitting because it gets a lot more movement. So we have this on there. This is the end that goes towards the mower. And these, you just press the center and pop them open. And then they lock into this ring. Actually, before I do that, I'm just going to spray some of this graphite in here. So even though we're going to lube this with grease, I want to make sure that there's graphite down in the middle. Actually, go ahead and put a squirt of grease on here too. With the way these are slotted, you got room for stuff to move in and out. So if you get grass seed and stuff in there, it'll pass on through. And what I'm going to do is just kind of roughly line up this grease hole with this slot, so that when I do grease it, it will hopefully go in between that slot, help grease the center some too. All you do is make sure these are open, slide it all the way forward, push them down. There. You can see that spins without this spinning. So let's put some, actually, I'll show you how. So you just lift those up, and boom, that comes right back off. I'm going to make sure my slot's lined up for when I grease this. Now there should be a metal shield right here, and I don't see where there ever was one. So I'm protected right here. This is still kind of exposed. So I'm going to have to research and find the piece that goes on this. But the nice thing about these is once this is on there and it becomes more awkward to connect, well, on the tractor end you're connecting and disconnecting, you can just unsnap this and slide it back out of your way, connect your PTO and shove it up and snap it back in place. Yeah, they're about 6 little pumps. Now my dad's tractor is a Ford 8N. It doesn't have a shield on the other end. But for 60 bucks, this is protecting a lot of it to start with while I research the rest of it. He's got a finish mower too, and it doesn't have a shield over this part of the PTO either. But I did get another one of these to put on there. Just every little protection helps. So I spray a little graphite on here. Just make sure there's some lube all the way around. Yeah, I might be overdoing it, but I really don't intend to get back in here for quite some time. So like I said, when I'm brush hogging 2.5 acres 2-3 times a year, so it's not like we're gonna need to do a lot of maintenance on this. If I start using it a lot for other things, for other projects, then I'll be getting in there more. So this is the tractor end. It goes together the same way. You open these little red levers. Just slide it down in there. And then you cuss. Says the wrong tube. I did not think about that outside diameter. Oh, that's it for this video. I'll have to order the I went with this because it was 2 1/4. And I didn't think that shaft was that big around. Didn't realize it wouldn't slip over this end. So the other one I order will be the I'll save the shaft. I'll end up with something else that doesn't have this safety shield, so that's not a big deal. So once you get that assembled, it just slides on like that, and voila, there you go. If that's too long, which it may be, then you just take it back off and cut it down a little bit. Well, that's the end of this video. Hopefully you learned from my mistake there. Like, subscribe, definitely laugh at this one, and have a wonderful day.